Welcome to the Sovereign Free Life podcast. I'm here with Vitaliy, and he is a beautiful team member in the water team. He's also, uh, I would like to say from my heart, he is an embodiment, like a real hero, living a sovereign free life, like paving the way in in the most truthful and the most challenging way sometimes of really embodying and living what you are talking about, which I really admire what you're doing and how you have such, like, when you speak, there's so much knowledge, there's so much wisdom, so much inspiration coming from you. And yeah, I'm really happy to have you here again on the podcast, and would love for you to just share like a little bit, like short about your journey, just the past few years, like in the community, in the work that you've been doing, and then lead up to present time, because I know you have a lot of things going on right now, and would love to hear all about it. Mm. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I'd like to ask, like, what is sovereignty and freedom for you? Like, how did you come to that?
yeah. Thank you for inviting me and giving me this space. It's always a privilege to be on such opening. I'm not taking it for granted. It's always, there is a reason for everything. So what I can say, actually, the journey of the past few years is, I just can say with one word, it's a transformation. Even been awakened since I was 20 years of age, but then coming to the space, I don't know who find who, if it's I found water or water found me. Even we've been always into the clean water, into the purity of water, but I have not gone so deep to research the water. But I think again, uh, my attempt to get in contact with you in 2021, where we wanted to move to Sweden, it somehow didn't happen. You were busy. I knew you were busy. You were doing so many different projects. So at that time, I thought, you know what, this lady is too busy, and I don't think she would have a time for me. Who am I?
I was super busy at that time. I'm sorry
But,
for missing
and
you.
then we come to realize that in life there is time for everything. When we get alignment and the path will cross, so it will cross for sure. And I'm very
Mm,
thankful that it happened actually 2023 in
mm,
very crucial moment in our life, especially during this time of pandemic,
mm,
where the world turned upside down, and we felt with the family like left on the side because very few people were able to stand beside us, especially how we see the world, how we were actually warning people about what is happening. Even a few years. I mean, I don't know how many years before we actually was telling people the things that about to come. That was as well the reason why we moved from UK, from the big crowded uh, towns into the small village of Norway. That was the reason. And the vision was actually is to build the self-sustainable farm.
mm, mm,
That was our idea, but it was very alien for people to hear, understand. They were thinking that we are crazy. How you can
mm,
leave London and come in the middle of nowhere and live in a forest?
mm, mm,
But people look from outside appearance. They looking for prestige, where you live, and so on.
mm,
For us, it was finding inner peace
mm, mm,
and grounding ourselves. finding more space and time for the family. So
Mm,
it was the principle, the morals, and the idea of life,
mm,
self-sustainable life, that was actually driving us, and that's what
mm.
actually end up being here in Norway.
Oh wow. And why was that the goal? Like where did that come from? Like wanting to be self-sustainable, moving out to the country? Because, I'm with you. We're also living in the country and want to build the same. But yeah, what was the driving force for you behind?
Uh, Driving force actually being a man, and the idea to be a provider as well
Mm,
was probably the driving force, because my wife was working quite a lot, and she was traveling to London on the train, and it was exhausting. I mean, the working and living in London, especially when you have a family, it
mm,
can be exhausting.
mm,
And the driving force was as well when she missed her second child. So that was for me the sand, or the line on the sand, basically, that I can't do this anymore. I can't put her through this. If
mm.
we want children, she needs to have much calmer life.
Oh, she got like a miscarriage or
Yeah, she got a
oh, I'm
miscarriage,
sorry. Yeah.
and it was painful for us, and so I needed to make a decision. I
Mm, mm,
make a decision, and things happened for a reason. So I got
mm,
in touch with one farmer here in Norway. He was inviting me actually to come to Norway in 2007 when we got married.
mm-hmm.
Things were not in the right time, basically. But in 2009, that's the first time I visited Norway.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
it's something that I would like to. I really love the country.
mm,
The nature, the mountains, fjords, everything is beautiful.
mm,
I
mm,
did not know the system. First when you come and meet the new country, visit a new country, you look at the nature and everything, and then when you put in your roots here, then you start to find out more
mm,
how things
mm.
run and so on. So, but it was that was
That
the
was the
drive.
line in the
Yeah,
sign
yeah.
moment. Yeah. And what do you think caused that? Like the stress or the toxins or like what kind of
I think it was stress
yeah.
because, and as well the environment.
Mm,
When she was coming and saying, coming on the train while pregnant,
mm.
and nobody actually even give you the space,
Oh,
not
really?
and to
Mm,
place to sit. So I said, now we need to change something here. And
mm,
as well,
mm,
it was a lot of information that was coming through the alternative media as well,
mm,
of what is to come, especially into the cities, what
mm,
are plans and so on. So, 15-minute cities, they were talking
mm.
about a long time ago. Before now, they're trying to implement it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, also the crime rate. We had our son was born there in UK.
Mm,
Um, he was 2.5 when we moved out, but
mm.
that's something I also didn't want him to grow up in, that environment where the children killing children.
Oh,
Uh,
terrible.
the
Yeah.
value for life was
Mm.
so low.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that was as well. So few things that was a major
Mm,
driving force
mm.
for us to relocate.
Yeah.
Uh, the funny part to it, basically, when we got married, my wife asked me, please don't take me to the place where there is snow. Uh, okay. so so I thought, okay, we're not going to go to Ukraine. That's a cold country. But then when I told her about Norway, so she said, no, this is something else. But the other part to our relationship, she also have given a promise to me. It was a vow on the wedding day. Whenever you go, I will go. Your people will be my people. Your creator will be my creator. So it was
Oh.
a page from the scripture, Ruth. So she
Mm.
had to just keep the word and follow. So Was it a shock? Yes, it was a shock, a big shock to whole her system. I mean, come in, first of all, she's from Zimbabwe. She lived, grew up in the UK, so we hardly see the snow there.
Yeah, yeah.
To locate in the place where it's snow cold, there is very little people. So
How
our
much
life,
snow is there now?
oh my, don't ask. Up
We
to a
had
meter.
20 minus here the other days. You have to kind of roll with it, you kind of learn to love it, I guess, like I do. Like I love the winter, but it's of course something getting used to.
I think for her, it was a shock for the whole system
Yeah,
to
yeah.
begin with. And then gradually, actually, the mind started to understand, actually, this is life. You
Mm,
have more time for the family, you have more access to nature,
mm,
and you
mm.
have more time to enjoy it as well.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful. But you were so brave making the move. I'm sorry you didn't move to us, but who knows in the future?
We never know. We never know what life holds for us. So,
Yeah.
but uh, the change was drastic for the whole family. But
Mm,
we needed to adopt. We needed to change the way we think, change
mm,
the way we, and then also it was kind of like a faith move.
mm, mm,
So because without it, to be honest, if you just look at the circumstances and things that are happening
mm,
around that, when we came first, and it was a contract in place with a farmer, but suddenly within 4 days everything just collapsed.
okay. Yeah.
So we just was like, okay, what we are doing here? This was the reason why we came. The vision was actually to build that self-sustainable farm.
Uh-huh. Wow.
uh,
Mm,
for my part, I think it was probably too radical
mm,
because self-sustainable, it was as well for us how we relate to the government,
mm,
how
mm,
because we can see more and more now that government's intentions not are the best for the people, and it comes out more and more clearly.
mm,
But 10 years ago, for example, to speak that message to the farmer, it was a bit too radical.
mm,
What I can say now, since now how many years, 15 years passed, yeah, things has changed. Now his eyes are opened,
mm, mm,
and we are in a good relationship. So, but
mm,
what I've noticed as well, things that he had not able to see
mm.
15 years ago, now the eyes are open. And now his actually desire to build that self-sustainable is
Oh,
there.
wow. Mm.
So sometimes
Yeah.
that seed just takes time to germinate. So,
Awareness is rising, like consciousness is rising, right? And
yeah,
but how did it end up? Because I know you've also been building up a lot of things, and you've yeah, would love to hear more about, like, for instance, the cooperatives you have there in Norway, and maybe you didn't build the self-sufficiency, like self-sustainable farm, but you did a lot of other things. Like what have you created there in Norway to like pursue that?
the idea or the vision is still there. So
Mm,
it never disappears. So it just how it will unfold. You need to really switch on the trust. You need to really have faith that the
mm,
right people at the right time will join. So you can't stop living because things did not happen at that particular time.
mm,
But what I would say, and I will connect this to the water,
mm,
because water is really brought such a um, clear understanding of how we as people, and how for us to keep this temple pure and clear in order to fulfill that vision.
mm, mm,
So sovereignty and the water, they go hand in hand.
mm,
Somebody will say, oh, how that water and sovereignty can go together. Well, we are 70% water, we know this. Yeah, so the quality of water, it also depends. The quality of our health depends on the quality of our water,
Mm,
and that was very powerful to make the thoughts, the vision clear, how to move forward,
mm,
and how to not to fight the system, but purify yourself.
mm,
So change the world within. Changing the world within, make it clear, make it pure. Then things starting to be more clear and pure around. So
mm,
that's what we say, if you want to change the world within yourself.
mm, mm,
And so with that, we started to have a lot of opportunities as well. You introduced us to Dolores as well.
mm,
Dolores introduced us also to other people who were living sovereign life and building sovereign life in Ireland. They also have shared the vision. So, and that it was almost like receiving the seeds of sovereignty
mm,
and visiting as well Ireland and getting in contact with the people who are running the cooperatives. They
mm,
also planted those ideas. So it was again um, getting connected with the right people
mm,
at the right time
mm.
and getting the right ideas at the right time.
And just
That
just just stop there for some people that this is like central. Like when you say sovereignty, what does that mean for you? I know it's a big question, but when we use that word, I would love for you to just what did you learn about sovereignty? What does that mean? Like how did you learn in Ireland and from the people you met about sovereignty?
well, in one word, it would be self-governing.
Mm,
So the first territory that is given to each and everybody of us, it's our body. And if we cannot control this body, this
mm,
temple, and keep it in order,
mm,
in peace and joy, then we have no chance actually to influence those around us. So I became the first object of change and still am. So it's
mm,
ongoing work in order to comprehend what is this body and how do I rule, how I become the king in this body.
mm,
Because the king, it's not about just sitting on the throne, but it's to have the thoughts of the king, of the sovereign, of the self-governing body that how you discipline yourself, how you challenge yourself, how you transform things, how you really renew your mind daily.
mm,
Before you thought one way, and you had certain results. But if I now thinking, okay, my vision is self-sustainable, is
mm,
the life that people can create peace for themselves, not be dependent on somebody else that, okay, one guy will come, the president, whatever, the king, and they will create a peaceful life for that
mm,
that,
mm,
that is given a power to somebody else.
mm,
But when I realize that all the power is actually within me,
mm,
and I am the man actually to take charge of this temple, of this territory, because this is, I mean, what I like with the scripture, yeah, one word or one scripture comes in particular, yeah, that it says very clearly that the man that can control his body
mm,
is more powerful than the one that can control whole city.
mm.
And in those things, it gives you a perspective where I should start.
Mm,
There is no point of changing somebody when you are remain unchanged. So
mm,
the sovereignty actually is to completely understand that you have all power over this territory, which is your body, to
mm,
rule according to the principle of the high morals.
mm, mm,
People say, where do you get those high morals? everybody will can have their own ideas about the morals and so on. So, but when we look at the nature, so going back into the nature is very simple
Hmm.
and very practical.
Mm.
It always multiplies and creates life.
Mm. Exactly.
Even in death, when the
Mm.
seed dies, it dies for a reason because it comes forth and brings more fruits
Yeah.
or
I
more.
remember actually like exactly what you're talking about. I think this is crucial because I think there's almost been like a psychological operation or something like in the collective trying to bring down these fundamental values like you're talking about. Like, for instance, all the farmers, that is a low level like work or handicrafts or like doing the, I mean, these are the foundations that human beings have been doing for all ages. It's like I actually had a very powerful meeting in Ireland also with, I won't mention his name because I know he wants to be a bit anonymous, but one of the real keepers of the values of sovereignty in Ireland. And it made this huge impression on me. And when he talked about sovereignty, it was just like you're saying, it was control, like it was about health. How can we, be sovereign in our health? How can we make our own food? How can we, learn to build our own boats and buildings and the material things? How can we have good relationships? It's, these very basic things of being a, a man and a woman. What does it mean? It's like you say, sovereignty is being able to affect in a positive way what we can affect, what we can control, and bring that into balance. Like, that is the most beautiful thing you can do. That should be valued like the highest in society, like the farmers, the people, doing the crafts, like doing the real things. Of course, everything has its place, but we really need to bring up the value because that is the like branch we're sitting on, right? If we don't
Absolutely.
take care of our soils, you know, uh, our living situations, our security, like you said, if you moved from London because it wasn't secure any longer,
Yeah.
that's a fundamental thing. That's a basic thing. We just want roof over our heads. We want security. We want love. We want, a healthy environment and healthy food and water. It's like, how can that be so hard, actually? But still, it is like one of the hardest things in the world.
It is foundational. It
It
is
is. And
foundational
that's
for
why that
sovereignty.
is being so much under attack. That's why it's being so, like, there are toxins in those elements. There's, downgrading those values. Like, and I think, yeah, I love that you're standing up for that. And it's in that simplicity of like ruling over yourself, like you say. There is so much truth in there.
And when we think
Yeah.
health, without health, yeah, is it worth living? But then when you look what builds a good health, yeah, it's water that you drink, it's food that you eat, and the air that you breathe. Those three elements are most crucial.
Mm, mm,
So, and when you think 70% water, that, just changing the water, it affects 70% of your health.
mm, mm,
And that's where the sovereign, if you cannot take care of your own health,
mm,
how you can take care of somebody else?
mm.
That's where it starts. It starts always with us.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's what 70% water is the most crucial.
Yeah.
Then food. So that's where, cooperatives coming into space.
Mm, mm,
Because, and I was very honored as well to come to know the people that created that space here in Norway.
mm, mm,
And it as well came from the need, from
mm,
the need of farmers to be heard.
mm,
Because especially the farmers that want to be uh, growing organic food.
Mm,
Um, the government is putting so much pressure that that pressure is not sustainable for them because it costs too much,
mm,
and so they do more paperwork than actually the work itself. So
mm,
is it worth it? And that's why, the government wants to industrialize everything and make a fast produce, more
mm,
produce, without looking into the aspect of the quality.
mm,
But when we have farmers that have very dear values for them, that they know that the food they produce, that actually their health,
mm,
they know that the food is the medicine.
mm, mm,
So, but when we spoil that food, when we spoil and intoxicate the food, it ruins their core of their life because they know that the food, organic food, is the medicine.
mm, mm,
And so these farmers they came together, but how we make it much more uh, accessible the food without need of going and licensing everything. So they created a private cooperative where the farmers meet with the consumers, with the customers directly without any middleman. And so, and that's what builds relationships, especially when you know the farmer, when
mm,
you know their life, when you know their principle, morals, and how they live. You don't need any license to prove that they grow organic.
mm,
All you need just to know the farmer. All
mm,
you need just to go and visit the farm and see actually how they do things. And maybe as well do the dugnad, as they say here in Norway, go and help them, and you will realize, what, where their food is coming from.
mm, mm.
The one thing in England, because I grew up in a farm in Ukraine,
Ah,
so
okay. Mm.
we were growing, everything organic.
Oh,
It
really? I
was,
didn't know that. Oh,
I
really?
did
They
not
grew
know
up like
anything
that.
else.
Ah.
So we had a small farm. My
Mm.
parents still have that small farm.
Oh, wow. Mm.
They refused to move, even though the war that broke out there. They refused
Wow.
to move anywhere. And it is, I understand, because it's so much strong connections with the land.
Mm.
They cannot imagine their life without working on the land,
Mm. Mm.
without looking after the animals,
Mm.
chicken, ducks, and all that. That's their life.
Yeah.
So I understood if I will remove that from their life, it's almost they have no reason to live anymore.
Yeah, it's their identity. Like they're very, yeah, deeply connected to it.
And I, we spoiled a little bit here because they send us parcels now and again of that fresh produce, organic, and you
Oh, wow.
really taste the difference.
Oh.
There's, and
Mm.
that's what we're talking about, freshness or
Mm.
wholesomeness of those products. And
Mm.
especially when you know that you were planting those seeds and now the time comes that you harvesting, it's a process of planting and harvesting, looking after. So if you take that out of people's life, you've taken a major part of life that's showing how things work in nature.
Mm.
And that's why I was wanted to say in England, I was shocked because when we went and were fishing in the lake, and we were met by the locals, and they said, no, 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 you cannot take the fish out of the lake. I said, why? No, 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 no. The fish only from the shop. That fish, you take, you caught the fish, you look at it, you take a picture, and you throw it back in the lake. That was a cultural shock for me.
Oh, no. Like,
I just
why?
like,
Is it toxic or is you're not allowed to?
no,
Or
you're not allowed to.
you're not allowed to fish?
Yeah. And
Oh my
then
God,
the,
people have
the,
been fishing for ages. I know, of course, you have to maybe sometimes there's not enough, like, but just for someone to go fishing, like,
that was a shock. But it
yeah.
was a relief when I came to Norway and found out, here you can fish almost anywhere and you can take and eat. So that was the joy of life for me. So coming back to the roots.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
exactly. Mm,
and coming back to the basics of life.
mm, mm,
When you go back to nature and see how nature works, you planting, you look after the seeds, look after the plants, and you see them bringing forth fruits, and
mm,
you then enjoy those fruits. And the fruits are so plenty that you actually, out of the abundance, you share with others.
mm, mm.
So because you know that you can consume everything.
Yeah, exactly. And like then there's no question. Like I think more and more people are realizing that it's not sustainable with all these like long food chains and middlemen and chemicals, and it's also depleting the earth. Many people don't know this about me, but I've studied, human ecology. I've studied 3 years of, sustainable farming and ecology and all these kind of things. And it's actually, and I was also at this conference in Norway with a lot of ecological farmers in Norway just a couple of weeks ago. And this amazing researcher from, I think, Switzerland was there really talking about the urgency of how we take care of our land because conventional farming, it depletes the earth. It brings toxins into the environment. It also takes out energy so that the earth will be more and more depleted, like it will not produce and nourishing food for us any longer in the end.
Mm,
And then we can talk about like killing the bees, the insects, the like bio like diversity. We can talk about GMO, like how they're contaminating the genes even of the plants, and they don't have no idea the long-term effects in the ecosystems. Like there's so many reasons I think people don't know about how the food is being treated nowadays. That I mean, even the GMO food, like soy and corn, like some of them, they make them produce pesticides. Like the plants are producing chemicals to so they're not eaten by the by the insects and everything. But what about us?
about
We
us.
eat it. It's
Yeah.
like, come on. We're also beings. We don't want to eat, plants that have produced like these chemicals. It's just like when you look at it with a logical mind, and for me, that's kind of a part of sovereignty as well, like wanting to see the truth, standing by the truth, and like you say, going back to the basics, to the heart,
Absolutely.
to the logic, to the okay, like what happens. A lot of people say, but oh, there's so little toxins, it doesn't affect us, we shouldn't be afraid. But okay, if there's toxins in the food, if there are toxins in the sky, if there are toxins in the water, if there are toxins even in the chemicals we use at home or in our products
Mm.
we put on our skin, the clothes even, like what happens? Like, why are we having these surges of diseases and, like all allergies and cancers and diabetes? And why is all this going up? For me, it's just like very, very clear. Like sometimes even when I get fired up by this, because I think it's like terrible what's going on. Sometimes when I stand in the store, shopping, and I see the person in front of me, what they put up, on the counter, like it breaks my heart. It's like, okay, white flour bread with like lots of glycosphats. Then you
Mm.
have like Coca-Cola. And then you have, this. And then you have this. bad meat, from a very bad place full of toxins. And I'm just like, oh my God, are they surviving that food? Like, how are they living? That's what's going on in my head.
But when you think the system is actually the focus of the system is not well-being of the people, but control of the people. Because they call us human resource. We are the resource.
Mm,
But then the idea, okay, why I need to actually support the system that does not have the best in mind for the people?
mm,
Do I need to really stand back and support with everything I am?
mm,
No. So, and so we then change our focus on energy, not something that controlling and destroying us, but let's change our focus without fighting that system. There is no need to fight. We create something that is sustainable, that something is that have people at the core of the establishment of the whole system, the well-being of the people.
mm, mm.
And so
Exactly. Like, how do you get out of something unsustainable? You create the new, you create the positive, you create what is the opposite, which I think is something we're both passionate about. Like, and also living by example, right? Like taking the steps yourself and just because I think there's also a lot of people just not aware, like they don't know this. They haven't really looked into it. They think, oh, it's just like, oh, this eco stuff. It's just a like conspiracy almost. Like it's just a myth. Like, okay, then you really haven't looked at the facts. Like, but it starts there, right? To be able, willing and to really look into things and really study and take some time because this is fundamental of your health, right? The water, the food, all of these things.
but as well, we see that the system at the verge of collapse because
Mm,
it's not sustainable. They destroy the most valuable thing that is there. It's a
mm,
people.
mm,
So, and if you don't care, if you don't take care about the people, about their well-being, you have no trust anymore. Whole system doesn't matter which system, good or bad, it always built on trust.
mm,
And we can see that the existing system, it's exhausted the trust of the people completely
mm, mm,
because so much corruption that coming out.
mm.
And then they trying to say sorry without actually changing of what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, they say sorry, but they carry on doing what they do.
Mm,
No, it's not. It's need to actually be changed at the foundation.
mm,
So, but the whole system is built in the way that it does not promote actually sustainable life. It
mm,
does not promote well-being for the people
mm,
because the system is made in a way that it using the people as a material, as a batteries
mm,
to run the whole system.
mm. Can you
So
how what is an example of that? Like if you could give an example of what you mean in that way.
we can see the financial system, the way it works.
Mm,
Those who control the finance, they control the energy of the people.
mm,
And at the at this moment, this system now showing itself more clear and clearer that it was built in a way that they hold people as the slaves. It's a
mm,
modern slavery.
mm,
If so, we're not talking about the sovereignty anymore.
mm,
People are so dependent on the system in each and every way. So no matter where they move, that they are controlled.
mm,
We're talking about the finances that again of what I remember when I was growing in Ukraine. And yeah, I was born in the Soviet Union, but what was very great at that time, I remember when my parents bought the house. and they needed to renovate it and build more buildings around it. So I remember whole village came and helped out. Within a week, basically everything was built and put into place without any mortgage, without any credits, without anything. So people come together. So
Mm,
it was a community.
mm,
So people did not think, okay, you know what, I need to go borrow money and then pay somebody else. No, it was a community life. They
mm,
come together, they put things together, and then they enjoy life
mm,
without actually, paying every single month, because a lot of people ending up at work they don't like to do, but they need to do it because they need to pay for the things that they have bought on the credit.
mm,
And so then we come to the place where people do not enjoy their life. Yeah, they got things, they got the house, but they ending up at work doing something that is not really good for them.
mm. And also like talking about the inflation, how I mean, I heard someone say like maybe yeah, even like 50, 70 years ago, one person could work and they would like have a house and two cars and they would have a beautiful life. Like nowadays, it's very rare that only one person works and usually like both people have to work and work hard and maybe take even extra work or
Yeah,
like
several jobs,
yeah,
yes.
several jobs just to make it. And what happens then to the families? Like my big value, like biggest value is the children of this world and like the families, because I mean, if we can't take care of that, like they're the most valuable thing. Like that's the basic thing. Like we should be able to fully be there for our children and take care of them in the best way possible. And I just heard in Sweden, it's more young people like with that are on antidepressants that are not feeling good than ever. Like we have failed in that sense. Like how can we prioritize, just running this rat race instead of like taking a step back and you know what? I have to find another way. Like it surprises me, but I think it's my explanation is that, like you say, the system is not built for us. It's built to keep us in a fight and flight mode. That's what I think, where you just are trying to put out fires. You are just too stressed to even think that anything else could be possible. And people even like try to, what do you say, push each other down. If you believe anything else is possible, you're threatening my life. Like you're threatening my belief that what I'm doing is actually a good thing, even though you know it's not. You're not there for your children. You're not, bringing your biggest potential to the world. You're not actually being able to speak your truth and live the life that you want. But you kind of, when someone tries to say there's something else, people even become aggressive, like, because I've given my whole life up. How can you say that I can't? Like, this is not the thing, you know?
And
Yeah.
and it is a rat race because everybody's doing it and everybody in that race. And it's very hard to actually jump a stop
Mm,
because so many people actually in the same race, and to be able to jump out and look of what is going on,
mm.
it's very hard. So
It is.
those
It's the fight and flight that is so strong. It's like, I'm gonna die if I just question this. That's what I meet a lot. It's like this fear coming up in people and trying to push each other down. And that's where the mindset comes in, right?
exactly.
That's where it comes in. If you don't control yourself, again, like your
Yeah.
body, your mind, your emotions, you're not going to be sovereign, right? You're going to be
No
dependent. You're
way.
going to run someone else's race, right?
Exactly. And that's where the control of the system is, so that
Mm,
the people don't have that opportunity. You know that they have that cycle, 9 to 5, 5 days a week. You know, you have 2 days to reset and then go back to the same cycle.
Mm,
So people not have opportunity or chance actually to stop, have a look what they're doing. Do they even enjoy what they're doing?
mm,
And how that what they do in affect their life? How that what they do in affect their health? Can they say actually that they are in control of their life? You know, many people, I was working for the corporation as well. When the pandemic started, you know, that they've been told, you know what, you need to wear a mask. You have no choice. So people are really being groomed into such a control state that they could not make their own mind. So they've been doing everything what they've been told.
mm,
They've been told, you know, you will miss the work if you don't actually vaccinate yourself.
mm,
And many people, because their hope is that work, because they think that the work is a provider. Without that, they cannot sustain their life. But it was very thing that was breaking their life. And
mm,
unfortunately, you know, we need to face the truth, what is coming up now more and more, how damaging those tactics were from the system to the people. And we can see that the health of the people is damaged. But how do we reverse?
mm, mm,
And this is the key. You know what? Do you want to reverse? Start
mm,
with the water. That reverses 70% of your health.
mm,
And
mm,
that was for me, you know, this is no brainer. But then people said, but the water is water, isn't it? So, and especially here, you know, Scandinavian countries, or we have the best water possible.
mm, mm,
But when you test that water, what comes from the tap, you
mm,
know, most of that is a dead water. People say, what is a dead water? Yeah, the water that bring death. Even do you think you drinking and you think it brings you health? But I come to find out I did not know that actually 3 years ago.
mm,
I thought, you
mm,
know, pure water, that is the key. And my focus was to purify the water as much as possible. That's why we were using reverse osmosis with the minerals added to it. But it was still dead water.
mm,
And I
mm.
was just like, no, but it's pure, but yeah, it's pure, but it's dead.
Yeah, yeah.
And what makes water alive?
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
and that negative charge of
mm,
what we find in nature.
mm,
In nature, that's where you go drink from the stream. The stream actually have a living water because it's running on the earth, so it's constantly have that negative charge. But
mm,
the
mm,
problem is there right now, the skies that are polluting.
mm,
The
mm,
environment is not as it was before.
mm,
So where we used to actually go and just drink from the stream, now
mm,
you go to the stream, you take the water and you take it. Yeah, it can be alive, but it actually full of toxins.
mm, mm. Yeah, it's scary when you start to look into it and you see like both the toxins, but also like lot of people waking up to the toxins and they're purifying the water. But then there's the next stage because I remember our conversation actually, the first conversation, and you're a very truthful person and you realize like, wow, have I been drinking dead water? Like you could see it in your eyes how, okay, this is next level. There is
It was
another
a
level
moment.
here. How, okay, that is actually not good to drink in the long term when there's a positive charge in the water, which most water is if you're not like very have advanced technology for it. But most water is positively charged, and then it's actually not beneficial for your body. It will take the minerals out of your body. It will, you know, make the body unhealthy in the long run. And I think that is also like a knowledge thing where I've been speaking for 7 years about the properties of water and how there are many properties. It's not just like structured, it's not just clean, it's not just alive, it's not just, it's all of it. Like all of it needs to be there. Otherwise,
Wholeness
you're
in all
missing
you
a
life.
point, like you're missing a part of it. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, and I think people are coming there, especially in Scandinavia. I see a lot of awareness, like the discussion is up. many people know, like many people have filters, many people have started the conversation, but
Mhm.
it's still like, okay, I'm seeing a, I wonder when they're coming to the next step, like where you were.
Yeah, there is still some puzzles are missing, but that's what we are doing here, is bring those puzzles into place.
Mm,
Because for me, that was a missing puzzle. And when I picked it up, I understood. But also, it's not just came with understanding; it was came actually with an effect on whole my being.
mm. Yeah, tell me. I would love to know. Like, how did you experience that? How did your family experience that?
I think it was quite like you straight away felt recharged, almost.
Mm,
I
mm,
remember going on the walk. So even here, people going on the skis. So one day on the skis, for me, I need to like 3 days to recover from the muscle pain. And especially when you go hunting, when I go hunting, and you do like 10, 15 kilometers walking on the mountains, then it's a minimum a week. You just need to just to get things back to normal
mm, mm,
because it was the pain in the muscle was enormous. But what I realized when we get this water, live living water or live water, I realized that my recovery was so quick. I needed just to sleep, waking up next morning, everything back to normal. And that was very, very, I noticed that straight away. For me,
mm,
that was, now,
mm.
now I know what it's all about.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
especially, like hunting, when you have several days in hunting, when the season is open and you need to be in shape, and when you go on the mountains. So it was very hard before. I remember when I started in 22, it was very hard to go every single day
Mm, mm,
like for a week because you needed to you went one day one, then you need to at least 3 days to recover. With this I could go every day. And I seriously, it was almost like rebuilding me so positive and so fast.
mm,
So
mm,
that was for me is very, very visible effect.
mm,
And as well, we're not just we're using the Kangen machine, we also bought the Anespa. It's a shower unit, so our daughter actually have noticed that straight away, especially suffering with allergies and eczema. So she noticed that even now beauty water, because sometimes she has outbreaks, and the beauty water that actually is the one that cools down, and she just can feel the calm on the skin. So
mm,
I mean, it is very positive effect on whole family. And
mm,
knowing as well, like our son, he was playing football and handball and constantly taking that water with him. So he was coming back without, it was quite a substantial amount. He will take like 2 liters a day, but it will come back empty because his friends would like to drink his water. And I don't blame them because I can't drink the tap water. I can't drink, like,
mm.
for example, even going to the restaurant and they give you a tap water in the bottle. Yeah,
I
it's
love how
cold.
you say that, like tap water. Like, what do you mean? It's almost like, are you offending me? Are you bringing me tap water?
Seriously, just even take the glass to my mouth. I can't like, oh no, I can't. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm too spoiled, but I would rather go without drinking that water than and thirsty, and then
Yeah.
come back
You,
home and then quench that thirst at home.
I agree. You become a water snob. That's what we call us. It's
Yeah, but then
yeah.
you're thinking about your health. That is
Mm, mm.
70% of you.
It's so true.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you won't compromise it in the end. It's like when you know what's in it, you know, all the chemicals, the medical residues, the heavy metals, the mold, the PFAS, the like all this, when you know, like that's everywhere. It doesn't matter if you have a well, whatever, rainwater, like it's most places,
Yeah.
you just won't do it any longer, right? It's
Yeah, yeah. So I mean,
non-negotiable.
that's where you become to value. You value
Mm,
yourself. Now you're starting to value your health. Now
mm,
as well, the food. I don't want to put anything that was sold on in a store. We have
mm.
very interesting application in Norway, basically, when you scan the product and it tells you basically, how toxic or non-toxic it is.
Really? Wow.
It's
Have
amazing.
an app like that. You have to tell me.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder
I
if they
don't know
have
if
it
it
in
will work in
Sweden.
Sweden, but it works
Yeah.
very well in
Oh,
Norway.
wow. Like a toxin kind of sensor in the
No,
food.
you just scan the barcode
Okay.
and it
Wow.
tells you straight away if it's part or not.
If you can eat it or not. I love that. Like, it's so crazy that you even have to have that. It's like when you think about it, like I said it once. I know, like because there was a court case in the High Court in Sweden where there was a judge saying that no, there can't be PFAS in the water because that's a toxin, and because a lot of people were getting sick in Ronneby, a place in Sweden. And I say that, like, of course, actually the water should not contain toxins. You shouldn't go into a store. Like, what if you would go into a store and buy a packet of juice or something, and it's like toxins in it? Like, someone would have to be like, what do you say? Judged in a court for like bringing toxins into the food, right? But then most of the food in the stores are toxic.
It was a shocker, Maneka. When we went with my wife, she found this application and we were scanning everything that we were buying.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
then we just know we can't have this anymore. We can't have this anymore. And we were very picky with the food already.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
And so for us, it was like, what do we do? Where
What
do we
can we
eat?
eat?
Where do we buy food?
What do we eat now?
We just like spend more than 2 hours just to hunt the food that actually can be good for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where
So
the sufficiency, like I hear you go hunting, you do like yeah, all these things. And I think about the Sami people, have some dear, Sami friends up north, and they honor that still. Like they live
mm,
that with the reindeer, with the hunting. And when it's like a season for picking berries, for picking like mushrooms, when it's a season for fishing, hunting, like they do that. They honor that. They really take that very seriously. I remember one time I was up there, I was gonna do a course. It was before all of this. And then it's like, no, no one can come because the weather is right. We have to go out to the reindeer. So like no one showed up. So it's like you honor that's like honoring the branch that you're sitting on, right? And
yeah,
also the same, they're also aware. Like my friends, like one of my friends, she came down to visit here down south and she went to the shop. It's like, but where's the food? Like what are you eating here? That was her reaction. Like, where's the food?
the food came into place, and we realized basically that even what we were buying before, we could only buy now 10% of that food. I was just
Mm.
like, well, what we're gonna do?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
we getting the food? And so, when you send your thoughts to the creator, to the space around you, so the answers comes to you.
Mm.
So, and that's where the cooperative that was created by the farm, and
Yes.
it's called
Mm.
gift free, so toxic free
Toxic
food.
free food. More people need to do this, Vitali. Would love to hear just a bit more about like how did you set it up? How does it work? Like,
Well, it was set up by one dear friend of mine,
mm,
by Stephen. So, and well, it was set up actually collectively with the farmers, organic farmers. They
mm,
wanted to bring a solution of toxic-free food directly to the consumers
mm,
without actually having a middleman.
mm,
And so that's where the private cooperatives came into place,
mm,
where um, the farmers meet with the consumers, and the cooperative is the base. So it's like the food storage.
mm,
So let's say people come together and they say, well, we want to buy produce from this farmer. So because if you buy it by yourself, it's very hard to buy actually, such a huge amount,
mm,
right? So,
mm,
but when you come together with the people, and you just say, okay, there we're going to buy meat, there we're going to buy grain, there we're going to buy milk, there we're going to buy cheese. So they already have picked up the farmers with whom they want to work. Yeah, they already know what they're producing and they know the quality of the food. And then they bring it all, they bind it together and
mm.
bring it in the storages, basically, where they now can go and pick up the food they need. So
Mm.
there is a
It's
terms and
so
conditions to
simple.
that.
It's so logic. It's like
Yeah.
it's
So
amazing.
and
Yeah.
you avoid all that taxation system, licensing system, because
Mm,
now you are in a relationship. You
mm,
know the farmers, the farmer knows you, and so they're very, very active into that listening to the consumers and
mm,
then listening to the farmers. And I'm very thankful as well that Enagic brought that opportunity as well to the animals here with your help. Providing that Kangen water to the animals, and now we want to see how that going to work,
mm.
how that affect the well-being of the animals.
Because
So,
I think also because in Agic who we're working with and we're independent distributors. I just need to say that for compliance, like we're not like directly, uh, what do you say, employees of them. Like we're independent and
yeah.
sovereign in a way, but I'm really looking forward to there are results already from studies that show like the quality of meat, the quality of milk, the production increases. And of course, it needs to be more studies. And I was very happy to meet a lot of researchers that were interested in doing those kind of studies in Norway. But then also thinking about like of course when we men and women when we know from 50 years of studies that we are more healthy, that there are around like 170 diseases that are you know counteracted by this water, of course it helps the animals, of course. Also especially milk and meat, if there are toxins, it's concentrated there. Like of course that's the most important part, to give those animals the purest water, the best water, because then we don't have the toxins there either. It
Exactly.
accumulated. It easily accumulates otherwise, especially there. So like yeah, it's once I think we're like kind of 10 steps ahead of a lot of people, but hope to inspire more people to kind of just think about this. And especially if you are a farmer and you want to really have a toxin free farm and you want to have the best water like for your animals and make sure they are more healthy and they can produce more, like it's also logic, right? If the animals are healthy, it's better production, every like less costs for veterinaries and all of that. So yeah, really
But
looking
also
forward because
well-being.
that is like a huge expansion also happening where we can also support the farmers financially, because there is a financial gain for them in so many areas where they really need it, where you like you said there's so much pressure on the farmers. So by
Mm.
giving them this and then like taking away the middle hands
But
in all the ways we work.
it becomes very interesting cycle where well-being, not only our well-being, but also of animals,
Mm,
because we can see that we are part of the chain of that cycle. So more happier animals, it actually also will be uh, reflected on the produce, the
mm,
quality of the produce.
mm,
And so it comes back to us.
mm.
So
mm,
it brings back that vibe to us as well. We will be more happy. We will be more well and healthy by knowing as well what we eat, because
mm,
the food becomes actually the medicine.
mm, mm.
And that's the beauty of it. And I believe that all we need to do, the people, taking care of ourselves first, because that's where it starts. When you have that thought in mind that the change begins with me,
Mm,
then we will realize that I'm only one part of the big chain. That if this part is changing, so I'm actually affecting the other people that are around me.
mm,
And so the system will change not from above, but within.
mm,
And from the low, and it will grow up. So it starts with us, and then when we affect in one another with the health, with the well-being, with the healthy thoughts and so on. So
mm.
the corruption there will not have actually a space to exist because
Yeah, I mean, listen to this man, guys. Like, that is the most powerful truth you can speak right there. Like, honestly, and it's like, in my work in the World Freedom Alliance, I've talked to experts, grassroots, like in 40 countries. We did 2 years of work. And what you're saying right now, that's what it boiled down to, actually. Like the three pillars that we found through lots and lots of works, like conferences, discussions, like all of that. It's it starts from within. It starts with you, with the individual. And when you come in balance, you naturally, want to build what is positive. You want to build what is new. But to do that, you're going to meet a lot of resistance, right? There's going to be both the resistance from society, from mindset, from a lot of people that are, bringing, like, there's going to be resistance. And then you need to know sovereignty. You need to know the game. You need to know the kind of underlying, also your rights, your natural rights that when that is ingrained in you, you continue going through the resistance, right? So it's like, sounds simple, but it's when the stage is not really set for that simplicity, it becomes hard, right? Like you
yeah,
said, you
somebody
go into
needs
a
to be a
shop and
pioneer.
it's like, where's the food? And you go into society and it's like, okay, where's the support for what really matters here? Like, it seems like the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we need to start somewhere. And I
Mm,
believe when we look at the seed itself, seed can be very little and formless sometimes, but inside that seed, it's all that is needed from that seed to become a plant, and then from that plant, to come fruit and so on. So everything in that little seed, all code, all that is needed for development, for growth, everything is there. So for us, when we have that thought planted in our mind of self-sustainable sovereign life, where it includes your health, your well-being,
mm,
and your freedom. So when you work on that, and you have clear vision of what kind of system you want to build, and you start to actually build it within yourself, and then you share that idea, you share that vision with others, and when they embrace that as well, so we become now not just one simple thought, we become now an idea that spreads itself
mm, mm,
and becomes established. And
mm,
when people not just embrace that idea, think, oh, it's a nice idea, but they actually put that into practice, they live that idea in their life, daily life. then it becomes power because you realizing that your world is changing around you,
Mm,
and that change world around you affects the world of others.
mm,
And slowly but surely, we actually just taking step by step. Yeah, it does not spread like a wildfire. Yeah, truth always walks when
mm,
the lies are usually running. But
mm,
when truth works, it's actually establishing itself
mm,
and put
mm.
the proper foundations in its
Yeah.
place.
I
So,
love that analogy and also of the seed because I truly believe, and people might call me naive, but I truly believe that every single man and woman on earth has that seed within them, of goodness, of love, of like really wanting to live that good life, somehow, somewhere. And then there's so much distraction and destruction and all the rest of it, and toxins, and bad propaganda and fear and mongering and war, and like there's so much that takes us off that path. But I
mm,
believe every single one out there has that seed within them, and it is as simple as a choice. I really believe that. You just need to choose. Like we do have our free will all the time to choose, where do I put my energy? Where, how, if I come to a problem, how do I solve it? How do I come back to myself and stay true to what really matters? And once you make that choice, the path will show itself. You don't need to know
absolutely.
everything. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just
No.
need to choose. You know what? Like I like when I was in the rat race, and I was just kind of came to that, like you say, the line in the sand moment, like with your wife when she had the miscarriage. It's like, you know what? It's enough now. I can't
Mm,
do this any longer. You need to kind of come to that line in the sand moment where it's just like, whatever it takes, I'm choosing something else. I will not compromise any longer with my life force, with my children's life, with my health, you know. But it might take, some people might not come to there, some people will. But it's like, yeah, what I love with our beautiful community, like the international community, is that when people make the choice,
mhm.
there is that, beautiful community just with open arms, like, yeah, here we are. Of course, you need to continue to take the steps. You need to continue to do the mindset, the health, set, what do you say? Like, you know, taking care of your health. But yeah, I really believe it's possible for everyone when you
It
make
is
the choice.
possible. It's possible when you realize that the best and the most important project of your life is yourself, actually. to
Yeah.
to find yourself of who you are,
Mm.
your mission, your vision, and then run with it. Because so much noise, this world is offering a lot of noise to put so much destruction around you that you will never come to realize of who you truly are, what
Mm,
is your mission, and what you are actually here upon this earth.
mm, mm,
So, but when you realize that you are actually the most important project to find
mm,
out and discover yourself of who you truly are,
mm,
what is your
mm,
mission, what is your gift, what is the reason that you came here upon the earth,
mm, mm,
then you will realize the value that you can give to this world. When
mm,
you start discovering the talents, the hidden germs within you, and
yeah,
you start to bring them up,
yeah,
and then you start realizing what kind of value actually for yourself, first of all,
mm,
and then to others.
mm,
And it's not easy. And I can say, even speaking about myself, sometimes you won't just sit in a corner and be there, do your own thing. You came to realize of who you are and just sit in the shadows, don't speak much. But when you realize that what within you can't be contained anymore within
Mm,
yourself. So
mm,
it's almost have a need naturally to come out
mm.
and share itself.
Yeah.
And so I can say, and I appreciate, given this space, probably this is a space that is offered for me personally right now.
Mm,
I realize in its stage in my life where I cannot be still and quiet of having what have life have this given me. I
mm.
cannot just keep it for myself.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like I think we discussed this earlier, where in our community also, what I love is that we support each other to, like you say, to speak out, to step up, to stand for your values and your vision, and like you said, live an example to inspire others to, like, wow, you know what, my story is important, my wisdom is important, my path, my vision is valued, because a lot of people have been ridiculed or pushed or pulled or like all of this like through their lives. So that kind of voice is just like a whisper. It's not strong any longer.
Mm.
But to really be heard and to be seen, and like, okay, what do you value? Who are you? What do you like to do in life? Like, I know when I way back when I was in a very destructive relationship, I didn't even know the answers to those questions. I think a
Mhm.
lot of people don't even dare to stop and ask yourself. But once you do, and once you realize that, you know what, this is not even about me. Because
No.
a lot of people, when I started to be seen and heard, and especially in Scandinavia, we have this jantelag, and like, oh, but what do you think? It's just about you, or you're just trying to sell something, or blah, blah, blah. Who do you think you are? Like, meeting all that resistance can, for some people, you can go back into playing small again.
Yeah.
But for me, I I really truly believe that, it's really not about me. It's about, I see this, my body, my vessel, my being. This is a tool for something greater to come through. And if I have the solutions to so many of people's problems, if I can inspire people, it's egoistic of me to not share it. If
Mhm.
I can save someone's life, I'm not promising anything, of course, but I've seen it happen, like not just like physically, emotionally, mentally, on many levels, with consciousness, with like removing toxins, better health, with community, with like providing more finances or whatever it is for that person. If I can, you know, change people's lives in that powerful way, why wouldn't I speak out?
Mhm. Absolutely. And this is a sparkle that you carry, and you setting things on fire, other souls that probably, just sitting and waiting that somebody will bring that little sparkle of fire so
Mm,
that they will light up. And so
exactly.
that's what we are. When you think, for example, you see so many lights around you, but they sitting and waiting, and they probably just need that little spark.
Exactly. And you, Italy, like you can reach people that I could never reach. And someone else could light the spark in someone else, that I could never reach that person. So it's like this ripple effect where we're just lighting each other up. And I think one big part of that is just having hope, having the faith and the hope that there can be something different than just running around like blood, sweat, and tears, and like in the rat race, and there can be something else. If you've gone to the doctor and say it's hopeless, like I've had that 3 times in my life, where it's no, no, like it's going to be like this forever, like you can just live with it, and they dismiss you. And
Mhm.
I'm always like, no, I'm not accepting that. I'm going to get well, whatever it takes. I'm going to get well. And I have. I
And I remember that. I remember last year the conditions that you've been going through. And looking at you now, my goodness, you are transformed.
Yeah, and whatever you say, it's like both, yeah, like we said, just choosing, taking the steps, and the path will appear. It will appear.
Absolutely.
So, guys, yeah, we need to round it up now. I think we could talk forever, Vitaly. I love this conversation. Is there any last words you'd like to share? Anything else that you would like to bring some more sparks out into the world?
Yeah, I just want to say those who gonna listen is that you are the light. You
Mm,
probably just need that sparkle, but that light is hidden and is your responsibility actually to open up and let that light shine.
no, that was beautiful, Vitaly, and it really, our community is called Omni community.
Hmm.
Omni means light.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
And I mean, that's what it's about. Like, the more people that dare to shine their light, to let that out of them, it's already there. It's nothing that, it's just like, let yourself out. Like,
it's there. Yeah,
but what happens then? The world becomes a more beautiful place, right? With you shining your light, with you, being authentic, being really living your life, not someone else's life, right?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, beautiful, Vitaly. Thank you, thank you, thank you for, yeah,
Thank you.
it's such touching words. I feel so like, yeah, lit up within from this conversation. I hope that you're listening, that you feel that way too, and just share this. Like, people need to hear this. Like, share this conversation if it's something that, was lit up inside of you. And yeah, let's do this together, right? Like, just poof, this wave of fire, like a loving fire. Let's just spread it everywhere.
Yeah, we infect one another in a positive way. So
Yeah.
if they think the virus that they spread, whatever, can infect so many people, yeah, we more than a virus, and we can infect more people in
I
it, right?
love that. Yeah, the light virus is coming, guys.
Yes.
Watch out. Oh, amazing. Thank you so much, Vitaly. Have a great evening. Blessing to talk to you, and give
Likewise.
give my love to your family, and see you next time.
Cheers.
Thank
Blessings.
you.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.